Hello, David Thomas here. We know that freelancers often feel a lack of control when it comes to money. So let's look at ways that we can engage with money to reduce those worries. We're going to look at just two areas. The first is controlling the spending in your personal life, and the second is saving for later in a number of different areas. Looking at controlling your spending first, let's just have a think about how money works for freelancers. There are two financial aspects to a freelancer's life. One side is the time that you go out and you earn the money, but the other side of it is the spending side. Now, people in long-term permanent jobs know what their income is, it's very predictable, and they can use that knowledge to plan their finances. Freelancers can't do that. Freelance earnings usually go up and down throughout the year. Now, obviously, if our spending went up and down at exactly the same rate, that would not be such a problem. But actually, that's not what happens. Our spending might be bigger than our earnings at certain times of the year. So the first step in taking control of freelance finances is to know what your lifestyle costs you and use that as a target for your earnings, which is much more healthy than just saying, I need to earn as much as I can. The best way to approach this is to set monthly spending budgets for each part of your personal life. Let's have a look at a tool which you can use to set those monthly budgets and then work out how hard you need to work in order to cover them. So this is a tool you can download at my website. It's just a spreadsheet. Look for the free stuff page at davidthomasmedia.com. On the left-hand side, we have categories of spending in your personal life, and I've just picked up typical categories here, the kinds of things that everybody might have. And on the right-hand side, we have a space for putting any work costs. Recurring work costs are at the top, and maybe one-off costs, which are just once a year, you can put in the boxes here. Now, let me just put some figures on here and explain what's going on. So what I've done is I've put in random figures just to show you the effect of building up a picture of your budgets every calendar month. And just for clarity, PCM means per calendar month. There are a couple of categories I need to explain. Hobbies, very important that you actually, if you are spending some money on hobbies, you put something in your monthly budgets for things that will keep you optimistic and buoyant and happy as you go through your freelance career. So don't forget to cost those. The other area, which we'll talk about again in a moment, is about savings, and there are three types of savings that it's worth putting some money in on a regular basis. One would be short term, then medium term, and then long term. Now what happens is the sheet looks at all the costs you've got and it adds them up, and we've reached here a total of £1,286 in a month. Now knowing that is fine, that's a useful thing, but what the sheet also needs to know is how much might you earn if you did a day's work. If the sheet knows that, it can work out how many days you would need to earn to cover your costs on a monthly basis. So let's, for example, put in £150. I'll just make that up and see what happens. So £150 for a day's work, that's all fine, but you won't actually receive that because some gets taken off for tax. So we take off 20% for tax automatically, leaving you with cash of £120 from that day's work. So how many days would you need to earn to cover your costs per month of 1,286? And the answer is here at the bottom of the sheet, 11 days. So this is giving you a target. It's saying to you, instead of going out and just working and working and working, why don't you work out how many days you need to earn in an average month and target it, and then when you've reached that you'll feel like $1 million because you've reached your target. So we've looked at a way of controlling spending in your personal life. Now let's go into a bit more detail about those savings. There are three areas to think about, and you're building up reserves in all of them. The first one is short-term savings, money you can get at quite quickly. Ideally, you should have 3 months of everyday costs put aside. This will cover any bumps if you get no work for a while. It includes things like food and sport and all the other things that are important to you on a monthly basis. Medium-term savings include holidays or repairs to a car or a boiler or something like that. There's usually no specific date on this sort of saving, but they're very, very important. Long-term savings include pensions, ISAs, leases and all sorts of other things. I'm no expert on that. Have a look at a help sheet I've put together which can take you to websites which should be able to give you more advice. You're looking for help sheet 1SP at davidthomasmedia.com/free stuff. So we've looked at controlling spending, we've looked at some aspects of savings. We've got some other videos for you as well, one on cash flow planning for freelancers and another on time management for freelancers so that you don't work too hard. Look out for them in the usual place, davidthomasmedia.com/free stuff.